Hello, here to talk about Dirk. Dirk DeMonte, the man, the myth, the legend, the player, the Christian, the believer.
When you go into ministry, you talk about being called to ministry because you feel like it's something God is calling you to do. I first felt that call when I was 16.
At a camp called Hope for the Flowers. And he was asked to come up and play by one of the leading musicians there. And his friends kind of pushed him up, and he went up and he played, and he was really good in high school as a musician too. And that just shifted the way he was thinking. It was a church camp, and it was a really powerful experience. And he thought, maybe I'm being called to do this.
My family moved to this church, to Los Altos, and I grew up in Burlingame. And I just sort of, I discovered music as a passion. I always knew I loved music, but I discovered that I could make a living at music, and so I transferred schools, I became a music major, I became a professional musician.
Dirk and I met in college. We were both music majors, and we were just really good friends, and we hung out together, we made a lot of music together, and I never thought, in all the time I spent with him, that I was going to end up his life partner. And I guess that sometimes things are just meant to be that way. The way he expresses music is different than the way I do. But he just is music. He lives it. He breathes it. He touches a piano and everything just comes alive, whether that's in a way that's calming or exhilarating or makes you feel something deeply. But his music makes you feel all the time.
The way it is now for me, I don't think about what I'm playing. I don't think, okay, I need to go to the 4 chord here, or it just sort of happens as I'm playing. And so it really, in the best moments, I lose myself. I don't feel connected to me at all. I feel connected to God. But if it's just me playing, I really feel like it's me connecting with God and connecting with the Spirit in a way I can't do in any other way.
Since I was a kid, Dirk used to sing to me one of his most popular songs called "You're the Gift." And it's a song essentially about at Christmas time there's so much stuff going on in your life, and really what it is it's the people in your lives that are the gifts that God gives you. So what I enjoy about his music the most is it's always, it's about uplifting people, it's about finding the goodness in hard times, finding love in dark times, and just all mainly about love through Jesus. So I just love the way he can play to emotions. He can play certain things that make you feel a certain way, or certain chords that make you sad and reflective, but then at the same time, in the same song even, you'll get a section that's beautiful and wonderful and uplifting.
Music, as I've said, it's like my own personal expression of my spirituality. It's how I connect with God. One of the things I believe pretty strongly is that God is a God who loves everyone, and God is an inclusive God, and there's a lot of music written that sort of expresses a different view of God. So I see one of my roles to be writing a different kind of theology into music, a theology of a God whose arms are open wide, who loves everyone.
We're singing a song that I wrote on September 11th as a way of just responding. I didn't know what else to do on that horrible day in 2001, and so I pray through music and through writing songs and through playing the piano, and so this song is just my prayer or our prayer for ourselves and for our world as we struggle to make sense of it and struggle to know what God's calling us to do. peace, we need peace. The peace that only you can bring. We need love, the love that only you can bring.
You know, it's kind of changed over the years what I admire the most about Dirk. Before, it used to be just that he's an incredible musician and an incredible piano player. But as I've grown up, the thing I admire the most about him is his dedication to worship and his dedication to designing and creating great spaces for people to worship and great environments for people to worship in.
As Paul says, make sure no one repays a wrong with a wrong, but always pursue the good for each other and everyone else. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in every situation, because this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus.
And one of the most amazing things he does in worship that still, I've seen it for 25 years and it blows my mind every time, is he can be doing a prayer from the piano with a mic on, and he can have his eyes shut and just be playing and praying at the same time.
He takes the music where love just absolutely pours out, and we have this combination of head, heart together.
So for me, love is, I mean, there's all kinds of different love. We kind of tend to mush it all together and either talk specifically about romantic love or just talk about, like, I love you, man, or I love ice cream, or I love this day, or I love this deck, or, yeah, I mean, we use love a lot. Some people think that's not good because they think it cheapens love. I actually think it's pretty cool that we can just talk about love all the time. And I think it's important to understand that love is a really important, deep human emotion. And it's the kind of love we have for each other, I think, defines the kind of people we are. So love is caring for people. Love is putting someone else before yourself. Love is, I mean, there's another definition that's in the Bible is in Corinthians, where it says love is patient, love is kind, love is not boastful. I mean, to me, that's the best definition of love anywhere. It's 1 Corinthians 13.
Because he's always treated me with respect and treated me as a person, and that's been constant since I was a baby and since I was a kid up until now. And I just have always felt that he wants to know who I am, not as his son, but as a friend. And while I didn't realize that at first when I was young, I didn't know that he just wanted to be my friend and really like get to know me. I always felt a very solid presence of a humble man. He always showed me what it meant to be kind and loving in a way that doesn't necessarily get something in return.
People say, oh, it's so cliche, and it's like, but that's not cliche. I mean, if you really think about patient, kind, never boastful, thinking of someone else besides yourself, that's really hard. But I think it's an aspiration. I don't think any of us ever really arrive at being able to love completely or truly unconditionally, but I think that's, for me, that's a goal of my life.
Seems to affirm that we are wired for gratitude and forgiveness and love. And, maybe you're thinking it, but I'm thinking it. I feel like I'm also wired for yeah, but. I'm wired for yeah, but innocent people die in the blink of an eye. Parents outlive children. Evil seems to thrive. And I'm sure you could fill in 100 or maybe 1,000 or maybe even more yeah buts of your own. And those yeah buts really want to fight against that idea of just being grateful, of practicing gratitude. And the yeah buts and the evil and the fear and the resentment and the thirst for vengeance and all the rest, they only separate us and isolate us and cross our wires and eventually short circuit us. Gratitude grounds us, nurtures us, heals us, holds us, connects us to more than ourselves, connects us to each other, and through connecting us to each other, connects us to God. Gratitude is about giving to other people. That's why it's called thanksgiving, not thanksgetting. Gratitude connects us to each other, connects us to something so much bigger than ourselves, and connects us to God.
While I share a lot in common with my other friends that I do with Dirk, there's a freedom that comes with my friendship with him that is just unmatched in anywhere else in my life. Yeah.
I think that the most important thing in life is to find someone who inspires you, who fills you, who makes you feel special in who you are and who you are together and what you do in the world. And I think everyone should find a Dirk, whether it's a mentor, a best friend, a partner to work with in business, a colleague, someone to challenge you, someone to grow with, someone who is a Dirk for you. That's what everybody needs.
Please stand and join us.
You are not alone if you are lonely. When you feel afraid, you're not the only. We are all the same, in need of mercy, to be forgiven and be free. It's all you got to lean on, but thank God it's all you need.